Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Better Leader Podcast. Glad you're joining us today. I want to talk about one of my favorite things to discuss, and that is fitness. Fitness in leadership, right? Your actual physical fitness and how that impacts your ability to lead people around you. And it's something that we probably don't hear about enough. Like, I don't remember if I've ever picked up a leadership book and it talked about this, or as I've listened to an audiobook that it really discusses this in depth. So I think it's important in that realm to understand what are the benefits to our leadership when we are engaging in physical activity. But on the flip side of that, because of social media, because of kind of the trend of fitness within those spaces, it can oftentimes feel like this unrealistic mark that it's like, how would I even begin to go about that? I mean, you'll see people and like, good for them, right? 4 a.m. ice bath, and then, cold plunge, and then their hour run, hour lift, mobility. And for the rest of us, we're like, okay, I don't have time to do all of that. And we know that you have time for whatever you make time for, but even with priorities, it's like, what do we actually need to commit to? For me, in the stage of life I'm in with 4 kids, that's just not realistic to me. So what's more important than like, man, I'm nailed down to this specific routine or whatever it may be, is like, I just need to develop a lifestyle of being physically active, of engaging in activities that will increase my fitness level. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what an on-ramp that's actually realistic looks like at the end. But first, I want to just say, like, how does this actually impact your leadership? The first thing I think of is this, is when I'm engaging in physical activity, when I am staying fit, I am stewarding the gift of my body well. None of you who are listening to this, myself included, none of us created ourselves. None of us made our own bodies, right? You think about the human body, and it's incredible. All of the things that happen every single day just so that you can live, all of the things that are happening autonomously without you thinking about it, automatically what's occurring so that you can function and live and maintain homeostasis in your body. It is incredible. And because of that, we recognize, man, this is a gift. My physical body is a gift. So how am I going to steward this well? And as leaders, we are entrusted to steward gifts. We steward authority. We steward influence. We steward opportunity. And if we're going to steward those things well, I believe it begins by stewarding our own physical bodies well. That's a starting point. That's something that's important, is that we maintain our physical body, our fitness levels, so that we can steward the other gifts that we've been given well. And I think that that's a starting point, is recognizing and being thankful for the physical body that you have, that you can even engage in this type of behavior. And it's going to impact, it trickles down, right? I think that this is one area within your personal discipline that trickles down into so many other areas, is your fitness. And I look at it this way. There's loads and loads and loads of research from reputable institutions, colleges, universities, about the importance of physical activity. When I was going through my master's program, I actually wrote my master's thesis about the importance of physical activity in schools. And we really get this wrong, especially with elementary school students, of not giving them opportunity to be physically active every day. But it impacts our brain in such a powerful way. So we look at this, think about this. The demands of leadership are high. You know that, I know that there are times where you're physically tired, you're mentally fatigued, you're stressed, or you've got just the weight of things on you. Every leader, every person who is leading deals with those things. One of the great things about how God designed our bodies is that when we engage in physical activity, it actually activates our serotonin system. We begin releasing endorphins, neurochemicals into our brain, which impact our ability to manage stress. It fights back against stress. It fights back against fatigue and worry and fear and these things. And so there are powerful benefits of engaging in physical activity. One of the most demanding things I do within my role and job is communicating, is speaking. It's a very emotional thing. It's a very physical thing. You're tied to it. It takes a demand, and I love it. It's one of my favorite things that I get to do. I'm so thankful for every opportunity I have in that. But that is one of the most demanding things within my schedule. schedule. And what I found is that after I have that high demand, what helps me so much kind of decompress or come off of really that strenuous, nature of that activity is physical activity. Whether it's working in my yard, going on a run, going on a walk, doing something active helps to kind of combat that. And I think it's so important as you are a leader that you're engaging in these types of behaviors, because it's going to prevent you from burning out, from being overwhelmed. It's a piece of that puzzle, which really helps because our brains are wired that they respond positively to physical activity. How else does it benefit you as a leader? Two things really help me to dream, to get in that kind of white space thinking where I've got new ideas. I get kind of, thoughts about that are kind of outside of the norm. I can dream. It really helps me whenever, one, I get away. So it's important that I change like my setting. A vacation helps me to dream, to re-inspire me, to think about things in a new light. But the other thing that I've noticed is when I'm engaging in like cardiovascular activity, I can just clear my mind, is what happens is it opens up space for me to think. Some of the toughest problems I face, I've solved, I feel like God's used physical activity to help solve that puzzle or that problem. Or when I'm engaged, my creativity increases. I get an idea that I can't stop thinking about. Why? Because when you're exercising, this blood is flowing. It's increased blood flow to your brain. It's going to open up opportunities for you to think creatively and to problem solve at a higher level. What else does physical fitness do for us? Well, if we look at the benefits, and that's pretty like one side of it, there's also like the mental and emotional benefit to it as well. When you have a goal and you achieve it, when you have a new physical accomplishment, maybe you hit a PR on a lift, or you set a new best in running a 5K, or you've run longer than you did before, or you walked a certain number of steps, what happens is that builds your own personal confidence. It might sound silly, but it really does build your own personal confidence, and it makes you more confident in who you are. And as you develop that confidence, it's going to impact the way that you lead other people. It's just one of those things also that as you're engaging, I talked about it, this trickle-down effect. As you're engaging in physical activity, as you build those disciplines for yourself personally within the physical, I believe it trickles down to discipline in all of the other areas of your life. When I am disciplined physically, it helps me to be more disciplined in drinking water. It helps me to be more disciplined in what I eat. It helps me to be more disciplined in how I'm maintaining my schedule or planning out my tasks. I have noticed that for me, it's kind of a trickle-down effect. When I am disciplined physically, it impacts those other areas. And it also builds my confidence. And it's an awesome thing to achieve goals in that fitness realm. And so you need some goals. You need to be working after some things, because as you achieve those, it helps to build your confidence in other areas. And if you're like me, maybe you realize there's still times I'm very much self-conscious and wondering like, man, am I cut out to lead? Am I cut out to do these types of things that I'm being asked to do, to speak, to teach people, to lead in a variety of settings? Like, am I really, someone who can do that? And I've noticed that when I am disciplined physically, it helps to build my confidence where I know, man, God, I'm walking in the things that you have for me. Something powerful happens when we engage our physical body within that space in that way. Now, a lot of this isn't groundbreaking material. Many of you already know these things. If you went through a biology class or any type of physiology, anatomy, you kind of understand these principles. We know that exercise is good for us, that our body was created to move. So how do you start? How do you continue to allow that to be part of your life, whether for the first time or just to continue to maintain it? The first thing I would say is start simply and simply start. Start simply and simply start. If this is a new activity for you, you need to just start simple. Don't go into it trying to work out for 2 hours and, I'm going to go hammer the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours, going to eat 100% clean and all that. You might be one of the rare people that can go and do that. But for many people, you just got to start somewhere. I tell people this all the time. If your option is 0 minutes or 5 minutes, isn't the 5 minutes better? You'd be shocked at the exercise, the workout you can get in just 5 minutes. Do 5 minutes of burpees. Go on a 5-minute walk. Jog for 5 minutes. Lift for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes. 10 minutes is better than nothing. There are many days. This morning was one of those days where because of my schedule, the time that I have allotted, I just don't have a plethora of time set aside for that physical activity. So within 20 minutes, how can I wake my body up? How can I move? How can I increase my mobility? How can I gain strength? How can I increase my heart rate? I'm looking to just start simply and simply start. For me, I don't follow a super in-depth routine, but it is important, I think, for many people to have a plan, especially if you don't know exactly what you're doing at the beginning. So a plan can be very helpful, but also it's changing your mindset to just understanding, I just got to get active. Simplify it. I just got to get active, and that's going to help you a lot. The other thing that I would say within this realm in terms of building this habit is just look for easy activity wins. So for me within my job, I do more desk work now than I used to do, or more studying, or kind of working in that capacity. So one of the habits I've built is pretty much if I'm on the phone at work, I'm going to try and go walk. If I'm on a phone call and I know that it's not going to be the shortest phone call ever, I'm going to go and just start walking laps as I have this conversation. It's an easy way to get steps in. So what is it throughout your day that you're already doing where you're like, man, I could just add physical activity into what I'm already doing, or something that is a behavior or an action you take at work that just triggers you need to get physically active. Look for those small and easy wins. Maybe it's parking further back in a parking lot. Maybe it's, hey, every time I could take the elevator, I'm going to take the stairs. Look for some easy activity wins. Something else that really helps me is when I know it sounds simple, when I set my clothes out the night before. I like to work out in the morning. Everybody has a different time they like to do it, and that's okay as well. When I set my clothes out the night before and have those things ready, it's just such a little barrier removed that makes it so much easier for me to get active, is making those simple plans in order for me to make sure I'm being physically active and physically fit. I do believe this. I really, really do. Is that if you get physically fit, if you maintain your fitness level, it is going to help you more than you can realize within your leadership of other people. You're stewarding a gift, and I think it builds respect amongst your peers and the people you're around when you're caring for your own physical body and recognizing the gift that it is. Well, thanks for joining us today for the Better Leader podcast. We'll catch you next time.